I'm like,
Helps if I
I'm
go
here with all my
right.
friends. Oh, they said
So
there
we're
would
glad
be
you
days
all
like-
are here too.
No,
They said what?
they said there'd be days like that, right?
Um,
Hi, Kim.
Yes, yes, it is. So I would love to hear any wins that you guys are having. Let's start this out with maybe it's something really, it can be the tiniest to the biggest thing. What's your win? Maybe in the last week.
I have a win. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, tell us who you are, please.
Sheila.
Sheila. All right.
Yes.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi. So I had a really cool class in Wisconsin this past week when I was there. And I signed up a person that night, and I've got 2 more who I gave the coupon codes for to use for before the end of the month expires, of course. And they both reached out last night and today and said, okay, they're signing up. They just have to take time to do it, which is cool, and that's all good. So Britta, I saved my house 3 times this week. Yay!
Woo!
Oh, we are so
And I
proud
just
of
love
you.
the fact that you put that like that. That just cracks me up. I just love that. But anyway, my win is that I love doing classes. And I never, ever, 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 ever expected to say that like out loud, in secret, never. I am so looking forward to planning the next one and teaching the next one. And I'm just super fired up about it. And they don't always go like I want them to go. And they don't always have some people sign up. But most of the people are interested, even though they don't do a lot of activity about it afterwards necessarily. But I still love getting out there and doing it. And I never expected that. I kind of thought this would be a burden. And this is so different than that.
Sheila, that's amazing.
And
yeah,
you know what?
it's super cool. I love it. I just absolutely love it. And I don't have a problem talking to people anyway. But I just thought the class thing was just going to be a drag, and it is so not. I just love doing them, and I'm looking forward to the next one and the next one and the next one. So anyway, that's my win.
How many do you have on your schedule?
Pardon me?
Yeah, do you have classes already scheduled out now? More?
I do. I have them until August already.
Yay.
Yeah.
So, and do you have topics for all of them, or you just have dates?
I have dates and I have a couple of topics. It just depends on who I'm doing them for. A couple of them are make and takes because I already have now the stuff from the make and takes that I've done in the last couple of weeks. So I just have, leftover oils and that type of thing and all the labels made and everything. So I'm just going to do those until till those are done. And then I've got a couple just like basic 101 type classes set up. And then I've got dates for the clinic classes, but I don't have topics for that yet. I'm going to put up some kind of like a post that people are going to like vote on and find out what they want to find out about. I'm going to ask them to tell me what they want to know. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Well, I think that is so good. And you guys, I asked her those extra questions because she doesn't have it all figured out. She just knows that she's going to do these classes, right? So just schedule the classes and then figure it out on the way. Because sometimes I've scheduled classes before and gone, oh, I really don't want to do that topic. I don't like that topic anymore, right? Or I just learned about this and this is what I'm excited about. That's what you should do in August then, if that's the case, or for you or for whoever. So don't get yourself so caught up and I've got to have all the details done and figured out before I can do something. Just get it scheduled, right? So yay, Sheila.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Sheila was just entered 3 times into our drawing then, if she's enrolled 3. Have you just enrolled 3 people a whole month, Sheila?
I've enrolled, no, I've already got 2. Yeah, I've got 2 in the month already. I'm working on the 3rd one. Like I said, she's supposed to be enrolling today, and then there's 2 more that are pending. So hopefully there will be 5. If they all come through, there'll be 5 total.
That is fantastic.
Way to go.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. I'm so excited.
I am most excited that you have found your your source of enthusiasm, because with that, there is literally no stopping you, Sheila. It doesn't matter where you channel it. And that is the absolute most exciting part.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, and I've taken you, Skyla, I've taken your advice, and I've taken Britta's advice, and I've taken Leslie Burris's advice, and I've just said to myself, if people come, they come. And if they sign up, they sign up. But I'm still going to do it, and I'm still going to, you know, speak my truth, and I'm still going to say what I'm going to say. And if it's their time, it's their time. And if it's not their time, that's okay. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and they're going to come to me when they need to come to me. And it's not going to stop me if they don't. So I just keep barreling ahead, and I just keep moving on. It seems to be working good.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is our class for this evening. Thank you for coming. I mean, seriously.
But before you say anything, hold on, Skylar. Let's open this up. What do you guys hear from her? What, like, is anybody inspired or like encouraged or anything? I mean, what did you just hear from Sheila? I would love to hear your takes on that.
She gives me so much hope. And
Lisa. Thank you.
You bet.
It sounds like she has found her niche of how she wants to share, which is good.
Okay. Anybody else hear anything? Or Rhonda, did you have something to say? Maybe she just made a noise. Whenever you guys, just so you know, when you say something or if there's noise, the box like moves to it lights up. So if we call on you, it's usually because I thought maybe we stopped you or interrupted you from talking. So it's not to put anybody on the spot. It's because I want to give you your time if needed. So one of the things I heard is that excitement. And I think Skyla mentioned that earlier, but excitement draws people to you, right? If we're walking around going, well, you know, I'm doing this oil thing and I don't know if you'd be interested. They probably aren't, right? But I mean, just listen to Sheila. I'm motivated to go get some classes scheduled and to go talk to people and all the things, right? To save my house, because I have not saved my house this month, but I need to. You guys know what we're talking about? Maybe Skyla, why don't you fill this in on that? Because this was your little creation, which I love this, and it might encourage all of you to go and save your house this month. Go ahead, Skyla.
So when we were at Diamond Bound last fall, our team and Rhonda's and Britta's, whoever was there, we got together one night afterwards for dinner, and we were just talking about perspective shifting and mindset. And I thought, you know, if I just said, okay, it'd be really great if you could enroll one person this month, that the burden, not that it's a burden, but the ownership of that doesn't feel too great. It's like, yeah, it'd be nice if I did, but I mean, if I don't, it's no big deal. And I said, well, what if we shifted the game and we literally made a game out of it? And we said, okay, you love your house, right? So if you want to keep your house and you don't want to be homeless next month, what if we said you can only keep your house if you enroll one new customer? And I mean, obviously it's a joke, right? But in your head, you could just be playing this game with yourself saying, dude, I've got to keep my house. I do not want this roof to just go away. And so that's what we're talking about. You know, did you get to keep your house this month? Did you do the work to share with one person? And I mean, if you get to keep your house 3 times, there should be some other game like you just tripled the size of your house or something crazy like that. I don't know. But that's what we're talking about.
So, and I love that this is the fun part of it, because I was in on this conversation, but this was actually Skyla and her team that was doing this. And I got to joke around with them and be accountable with them, where I would say, hey, did you keep your house? Are you going to save your house this month? And it's that fun joy of, hey, I saved my house, right? Because you get an excitement when you do that. And when you know that you're being accountable to somebody else, there is a joy to share. Now, that doesn't mean that if you didn't save your house, so you're like, oh, I'm not going to talk to them ever again because I'm not going to admit this. But that, sometimes we'd say, you know what, I haven't saved my house yet, but I did. I didn't save the house, but I paid the mortgage because I did talk to 2 people this month, maybe, right? So even if you didn't, because we can't control what other people do. All we can control is what is it that I'm doing to get in front of the next person, right? What am I doing to share and to do that next thing? So I just want to encourage you guys all to think about it in that perspective. Maybe they'll take some pressure off and make it a little more fun for you. And I can't wait to hear you share how you're saving your house and hear that excitement, just like Sheila was just sharing with us. So couple of things just to get started. So welcome to Infuse, everybody. I think we started recording. I think it automatically started recording. So I don't know what all was happening there, but welcome to this. Or tonight we have some really cool things that hopefully will make saving your house a little bit easier, because just getting it in front of people is going to make it a little bit easier. And I think Danielle's going to chat about that in just a minute. But first of all, I have a couple of things. I want to remind you that if you've saved your house this month and you have enrolled or reactivated a customer, we want to congratulate you and celebrate you. And we also want to enter you into our drawing for a $10 product credit. So please type in the chat box your name, who you enrolled, their first name, and then who your diamond is, so we can track that, and we will draw at the very end. And then Sheila mentioned earlier so wonderfully, she just kind of took care of all of my announcements, but we have a 10% off coupon still that goes through Saturday. So hopefully if you've enrolled or if you've placed at least 100 PV order in February and or March, then you got a 10% off coupon to share with somebody that's brand new to Young Living or reactivating, coming back into our family. And we would love for you to remember to use those. Okay, so share them. If you need one, message me. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sitting here on my desk that people have shared with me. So we would love to get them used. And I'm sure if you message your diamond or your friend or whoever, chances are you're going to find some. So let's make sure that we get those used. And then we have Nebraska classes coming up next week. So if you know anybody in Omaha, Lincoln, and anywhere really within 100 miles of those areas, we are meeting in Ashland, Nebraska next Monday night with Young Living Corporate at 4:30, and then at 7. 5:30 and 7. We've got a business huddle time at 5:30 and a great education time with some legacy products and why Young Living. And we're going to talk about sharing our stories at 7 o'clock. And then the next night on Tuesday, we'll be in Grand Island doing a repeat of it. But, we say repeat, but no 2 meetings are ever the same. So you want to, if you can come to both or invite your people there. And literally, you guys, 100 miles, it'd be an hour and a half to get to either one of those places. That is totally doable. And to meet with corporate and to, hang out with 3 Diamonds, and because Amanda Friedel's coming as well. Hopefully Lindsay Leaf will be there. She's a Crown Diamond in Lincoln. It will totally be worth the time for you or your people to just come and network. It's totally safe. And we want to we just really want to bless them. Okay. So next Monday and Tuesday, and I will post links for the things in the events in the chat. So Danielle, you want to take it away? And she just got some insider scoop information that I'm going to let her introduce this video instead of me.
Hey everyone. Yes, so I have a platinum on my team, Katie McCabe, who has been participating in some of the calls. We're going to share with you the video from Richard Blissbrook and the group of diamond leaders that he has been presenting information on Thursday night. So Thursday night, he is doing an opportunity call. And I think it's something that is very underutilized. It's still new, so we have a lot of time. I believe they've committed for 1 full year to provide these calls for us and for our teams for 1 year. And if you don't know who Richard Blissbrook is he is an icon in the world of network marketing. He has trained and been trained by the best of the best. He is one of the probably the longest legacy leader in the industry because he's been doing this longer than most. I want to say that the top 5 longest standing network marketers in the history of the United States, he is in that top 5 bracket. And he is fully committed to Young Living and fully sees the value and what Young Living brings to the table, and that even in the midst of the storm that we have weathered, he still believes that Young Living is 100% the very best network marketing model on the planet. And one of the services that he does offer as a coach and a mentor is that if you are in another company and you're feeling tapped out, worn out, drained, looking for something new, wanting to go shift and change and for a new change of scenery, you can pay him to evaluate the top 5 companies that you're considering going to, and he will look at their comp plan structures, and he will look and see what your strengths are, why you would be drawn to those products, and then he'll make a professional evaluation on whether or not he feels like you will be successful shifting from the team and community that you're in to this next community. Because there's a lot of network marketing companies that they have a 5 to 7 year turnaround that you can build them up, and a lot of people will sell and move on. And there's lifetime network marketers that do that. So part of his outside Young Living coaching is to evaluate those things. And when we heard him, I believe, gosh, I think the last time we were all together would probably have been the kickoff. One of the feedback things and the takeaways from that discussion that leaders had with him was that he still to this day cannot find a compensation plan that is anywhere comparable to Young Living's. Even with our structures and we have done a couple of years, he cannot find one that is as solid and stable and a company that he really does believe will be around 25 years as Young Living has. So that piece alone is just very encouraging. And he's not one that just says things to say it. He will he'll say the uncomfortable things. He'll tell you where you need to grow. He'll tell you where you're suffering. And one of the ways that he believes that we as leaders are doing our teams a disservice and our communities a disservice is not offering the business opportunity and not discussing the business opportunity. And so he created this call to take the level of discomfort out of having those conversations and taking the guesswork out of what to highlight. So every Thursday night, it is a 30-minute call. They are very timely. I don't think they've gone over much, if at all. It's 30 minutes, and they talk about everything from seed to seal all the way down to compensation plan and how the business works and how the structure of the business works. And so unless you are talking to a prospect that maybe is looking to earn, is very specific at I need to bring in a secondary income, this call, I wouldn't say is for everybody in the general public. It really is something that is a tool that we can use to dig deep down in our organizations. And as we're building relationships with people, and as we're discovering these people that are on the STS at 100 PV every month, and we're saying, hey, do you know that the $25 bonus is back? And do you know that you could just sign up 2 members a month and you can get your oils paid for? And we can start those conversations. And every single week we have a place to direct them, to give them further information, to talk about why network marketing, why Young Living, and what that investment looks like on their end. And then it really is a springboard for us to have those conversations with people about how can we help serve you as you pivot into the brand partner role. So initially, in the very beginning, I was just kind of inviting everyone, and even people that I was engaging with in social media that hadn't purchased a product from me yet. Hey, join this call. And there was great information, but I think it was falling on deaf ears because it was a little bit more business focused. And so because I didn't understand that in the beginning, when I talked to Katie today, she kind of really filled me in. She said our biggest, and Richard even agrees with this, that our biggest downfall is that we don't do well recruiting business builders in our organization, because most of us are very product driven, which is great. That's where we want to be, to bring people to the table. We want to start, we want to meet people's needs with our product. So that's kind of sets Young Living distributors apart, because we're not about making a paycheck. We're not about, hey, every day you get a deposit. Hey, this is, like, we don't lead with that, because most of us are accidental business builders. But what we can do is we can reach down and we can see the people that are struggling to make their orders every month, and that we know that they have a financial need every single month. And there's a great opportunity right before them that we can have these discussions. And so sending them to this call with Richard and a handful of other diamond and above leaders and the platinum leaders that are joining and supporting that call, it gives them a really great springboard to go look at the other resources that he offers, because he does have some great little 2 to 3 minute clips of videos that you can put in your social media feeds to start that discussion and start talking about network marketing. But I think we need to really, it's supposed to help us find that boldness and find that confidence in saying, I am in network marketing. I do sell products as a direct sales person. I am in sales, and there's a place for you in sales if you would like it, in a non-traditional way that you think that you have to be salesy and you have to do all these things. I do this because I believe in the product. I know that this works. I am a product of the product. I've seen this success. And so how about, instead of hoping that everybody becomes an accidental business builder like some of us were, how about we link arms and say, how would you like to join me on this path to business? And so I think it's a really great opportunity for us to kind of shift our focus and look at our teams, look at our communities, and say, who do I need to start building a relationship with, fostering a relationship with, and who needs this business model? And I think we can all answer that and say everyone needs it. It's whether or not they're feeling called or inclined to do that. But I do know that when we link arms with people, and we've talked about this from day one of these Infuse calls, that the more we create community, the more we pull up a chair to our table, people are going to listen. Because if you get to go to work with your friends, and this, like a Monday night like this is us working and this is us doing things, that's really inviting, especially for the person who just retired and doesn't want to go into a season of boredom and not doing anything. They want to fill their time with life-giving things, or maybe the niece or the daughter-in-law, or someone who is struggling with just being at home and needs a little bit of an outlet, or your high school or college age students that are branching out and looking for more work and doing things. There's just great opportunity. And one thing that I'll say is, I believe that we have always lacked in leading business forward, in the sense, because we are so confident in how we lead with product, which I would 100 times over prefer to be that way. But I do also think that sometimes our complacency gets us to where, and I say that speaking for myself, that we miss out on those opportunities and those discussions because we focus so much on the opposite end, that it's okay to admit that this is a business and we're doing this because we want to grow. We want to help others grow, if that makes sense. So yeah, I thought I'd just kind of share that with you, because in the beginning I really did think, oh, I'm just going to share this with everybody, new prospects. I'm going to post it on my social media on Thursdays and like invite people to that call. But I think that really that didn't really help a lot of people, because it didn't address their GI issues that they were having, or the help with hormones and things like that. It was more, we're talking about seed to seal. We're talking about why this business model works, why network marketing is the answer to a lot of your financial problems, and kind of shift my focus on who I'm really targeting an invitation to. So I know that I think one of you mentioned that Richard also wrote the 4-Year Career, a specific edition for Young Living. He also has this mock 2 book that if you want to look at another one of his resources to get, that's a great one that just gives you, it's a very easy read. It's not something where the pages are, really small font and small spacing. It's almost written like you're looking at his notebook with bullet points and and just tips and tricks to grow. So if you want something, another resource to go alongside these Thursday calls to help you find the tools of who you should invite, how you should invite them, the Mach 2 book might be a really great option for you to consider along the way. Is that helpful?
Awesome. Yes, thank you so much, Danielle. So with that lead up, we're going to show the video. And as we're watching it, Skyla did type in here, think about who's on subscription right now with 100 PV a month with no downline, or with maybe only one person in the organization, or who's just even ordering, maybe it's those people that are ordering $15, $20 a month because in their mind, their stories are they can't afford anything more. But that they probably do need to get paid, right? So we are going to show this video. I'm going to work on sharing my screen as I talk here. And I really I encourage you to think about who you can invite or who you can share this with. And at the end, we're going to talk about how you can invite. We're going to share some different scripts that they've shared with us, as well as how you can even share the recording with other people. Okay, so Skylar or Danielle, give me a thumbs up once I get this started. Hopefully you're seeing my new black screen. All right, here we go.
Richard Blissbrook. This is the Young Living weekly product and income option presentation. It's my opportunity to introduce you to our first speaker tonight, Mary Starr Carter.
Thank you, Richard. And my name is Mary Starr Carter. I'm a retired chiropractor living in Petal, Mississippi. This is my family in the redwoods of California. And I found Young Living in a very dark time in my life. I was failing out of chiropractic school. I couldn't sleep because I couldn't sleep. I was failing, I was exhausted, I was achy all the time. It was just a really hard time, very unmotivated. And a doctor friend of mine said, Mary, you've got to meet this woman, Kathy. And Kathy was like this bright mom with these little bottles, she said were little miracles. And I watched Kathy's family. They worked from sun up to sundown. They had so much energy. So I tried the products and immediately I had more energy. I was sleeping better. I didn't fail any of my classes anymore. And it literally was like the light came back on in my life. And I accidentally fell into the income program with Young Living because I was just sharing. I was sharing my results with people and they wanted to try the products. And that income program has allowed my family, I mean, it's helped us in the beginning to pay some bills and be able to go on vacation. It helped keep my chiropractic practice afloat when it was struggling. I've been able to travel the world and do service work and missions and just have so much fun. So it's been such a true blessing in our lives. And today I can stay at home and homeschool my special needs son. So you're here to learn about Young Living in our company. And that is, it really all started with our founder, Mary and Gary Young. See, almost 30 years ago, Gary had a vision to grow, distill, and bring premium essential oils and essential oil products to every home in the world. And his vision started through some very unfortunate health experiences that he had. He had a logging accident that took this vibrant young man to debilitated overnight. And it was through those challenging years that he started studying natural medicine and different ways of nutrition and different things for his own health, and ended up having his own wellness clinic. And at that clinic, a woman introduced him to essential oils. And he's very curious. He's a researcher. And he literally traveled to the Mecca of essential oils at that time, France. And that's where he learned how to grow, distill, and produce some of the finest essential oils in the world. In those early travels, he met his wife, Mary, who also grew up with natural health products. And she has been an entrepreneur from her early years. She's been a business leader, and she's a very big advocate of the business model that we use today in Young Living. So it really was these two powerhouses that were the catalyst for our company and for growth. See, Gary continued to travel the world, studying longest living cultures, their health and nutrition, and he formulated many of our products from his research. And he partnered with scientists and farmers, like literally across the globe, to perfect our products that we have in Young Living today. So this is a picture of his early years, because our customers in Young Living, they start getting results and they want to come and learn from Gary. and study. So this is one of our early conventions. You can see there about probably 29 years ago. But look at our convention now, over 30,000 people traveling from across the globe to learn about Young Living. It's really incredible. But, you know, being a pioneer and a forerunner in essential oils really hasn't been easy. I mean, Gary and Mary work so hard. And there are a lot of imitators out there, but there's only one Young Living essential oils. I mean, look at our company. This is our international headquarters there in Utah. We have headquarters all over the world, and millions of people today from Gary's vision, you know, over 30 years ago, are using Young Living products. So I've had the great honor to learn directly from Gary and Mary Young, and now learn from a legacy of leaders and brand partners that they've created through these 3 decades. And you are going to hear from one of those great leaders coming up. We're going to actually learn more about, you know, the foundation of our company, which is really our products, and learn from one of those phenomenal leaders, my friend, Ana. Ana, welcome.
Thank you, Mary. Hi, everybody. My name is Ana Karina Cárdenas. I am originally from Mexico, but live here in Holly Springs, North Carolina. Just like Mary, I also started using Young Living when I was at a desperate time. I started using the products to help support my daughter's health, which was only 8 months old at the time. I wanted to help her in a more holistic way. I knew that what I was giving her wasn't right. If you're a mom, you're going to understand that we wanted the best and the best only for our children. So I became this person that started reading labels and being more conscious about what I was giving her, and realized that I really wanted a better option that was natural and just better for her. And that's when I found Young Living. Young Living made me an empowered mom, made me a mom that knew how to use the tools that came in that little box of essential oils as her tools for everyday life. I found better sleep. I found a better relief for her tantrums. I found more peace for me and my husband as we woke up rested with better sleep, like I said, and just overall a better lifestyle with more health, more vitality, and best of all, joining the business side, which I promised I would never do at the beginning, gave me a community, gave me a sense of belonging, gave me a purpose, and now it's our full-time job. I love Young Living, and here we go. So I want to talk to you about the products that we use in Young Living. Young Living is a wellness company. It says Young Living Essential Oils, but we're a whole wellness company. We have oils and we have supplements, we have home care. For example, this is Thieves, and it's a concentrate cleaner based on plant-based ingredients and essential oils. And you only need 1 cupful to make a cleaner. We have skincare, we have kids products that are already safe for them. We have pet care, we have makeup, we have so much more than just oils. It's a whole wellness line. I want to share with you how we use oils and what oils are. Oils are the extraction of whatever makes a plant powerful. So for example, when I was growing up, I would hear my grandmother say, take this cup of peppermint tea for this or that. That peppermint property is in the essential oil. So whatever properties the plant has is bottled up and given to you. We use it 3 ways. We can use it topically. So you put it on wherever part you need support, maybe on your tummy, maybe on your head, or wherever you need support. So that's topically. We also use it internally. You can literally put it in a glass of water or in a glass of Ningxia Red, which we'll talk about later, or you can use it aromatically. So you can use it like the picture by the bottle directly, or with a diffuser like the ones we all have in our bedrooms and around our house. So that's what essential oils are. Now I want to tell you about our favorite or my favorite products. The first one I want to share with you is Stress Away. This is an essential oil bottle with Stress Away in it, and the name says it all. It helps you with stress. It will help you get by throughout the day, especially during the evenings when we're tired. And I like applying it topically on my skin as perfume. You can also put it in the diffuser and it smells really, really nice. Another oil that I love is Valor, and it also comes in a roller presentation, which I really like because it's ready to be applied behind your ears, on the back of your head, of your neck, on the soles of your feet. And it helps me be grounded. It helps me feel more centered and get ready for a big meeting, for a big day. It just helps me feel with bravery, which means valor in Spanish. We also use in my house a lot of the Thieves line, like I was telling you before, for cleaning, we use the toothpaste, the dental floss, the mouthwash. These we use for everything that's related to cleaning. It has its own line because it's so big and important for cleaning issues. And last but not least, we use Tincture Red in my house daily. Tincture Red is an antioxidant drink that will help you feel better. It will help you with your vitality, with your eyesight. It will help you just stay healthier overall. It comes in a bottle and we drink it every morning, at least 1 ounce. And then this little sachets that are 2 ounces, I put them in my kids' lunchbox every single day, and they drink at least these 2 ounces and the 1 ounce in the morning daily. It keeps us really, really healthy. We are not the only ones that use Young Living. Not only the distributors love them, but there's celebrities, there's authors, there's sports people. There's a lot of people that I know you'll appreciate knowing that use Young Living essential oils also. I would like to introduce now our next speaker, who is Haley, who will tell you a little bit about our farms, which are an important part of Young Living too.
Thank you, Anna. My name is Haley. I am joining you tonight from Louisiana. I want to share with you what really sold me on Young Living. But before I do that, just my quick intro of how I found this company. So my sister Harmony, one of my sisters, introduced me to Young Living right as I was entering midwifery school. She is someone I trust. She's kind of my research guru. She explained that I could use these for physical and emotional benefits, and I was really excited. However, I was fresh out of college. I had absolutely no money to my name, loads of student loan debt, but I was very ambitious and driven about birth work and excited to make that work. So I launched my doula business, and I said, absolutely not. I'm not doing another business. I'm not doing a Young Living business, but I will learn about these products and I will research them. And if I love them, I will share them, which famous last words inevitably led me to a Young Living business. Young Living has changed my life, my health, my finances. And I want to share with you what really sold me on this company. So because I was getting into the birth work scene, research was absolutely most important to me. I loved that Young Living has an open door policy to the farms. I love that it doesn't matter if you're a customer, that they have an open door policy for anybody. You can visit the farms, you can visit the distilleries. I've had firsthand experience in the Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood Farm in Hawaii. I've gotten to go to the farm in Ecuador, the farm in British Columbia, Canada, where they grow the black spruce trees, the multiple farms in Idaho, the farm in Utah. So I've seen these farms with my own eyes. There are 25 seed to seal farms around the world, and we partner with several local farms also all over the world. I also really love and appreciate that Young Living is committed to just being a good steward of the land. They are committed to low impact practices. They're committed to sustainability and keeping these plants around for generations. So as much as they're planting, they're harvesting as much as they're planting. And if you guys or anybody here is a Young Living customer, you know firsthand that they do not sell products that they can't source. We have several products that we love that either the quality did not come out in that batch or Mother Nature didn't produce it because nothing is made in a lab. And we've had to wait until that batch could come back. So I love that they just respect nature and they're a good steward of the land. But the thing that really sold me on Young Living and why I feel so confident using it in my birth work today is their seed to seal promise. I wanted to know that this wasn't a slogan or some sort of marketing hype, that this was the real deal. And this is Young Living's promise to us that they are in complete control every step of the way, starting with the seed. We want to know that the seed is non-GMO, that it's heirloom, that it is being planted in pure soil, that it's being tested for purity, that there's no history of herbicides, that there's no history of pesticides, that it's got a nutrient dense soil. Going into harvesting, the cultivation of the plant, there's an art in and of itself in this process. One of my favorite experiences that I had as a customer in the very beginning was I went to the St. Marie's farm in Idaho, and I got to participate in the Melissa harvest. This is the lemon balm plant. And we worked really, really hard, 2 days. We were hand picking weeds, right? Because they don't use herbicides or pesticides. It was a lot of manual labor. We finally got to the part of the production where it was going into the pressure cooker. And we like to call Melissa a diva plant. She's very picky. She's one of those plants that there's a very small window where you can harvest correctly. And so Turns out we missed the harvesting window by probably an hour. We did a little test right there on site called the bricks test. And that's just testing the sugars of the plant. And what they found was that there were a lot of the constitutional benefits there, but not all of them were there. And so it did look like Melissa and it did smell like Melissa, but it wasn't going to have those premium qualities that they promised us. And I learned later that this batch was worth $1.5 million and Young Living did not use it. We put it back into the earth. We used it as a natural herbicide, natural pesticide, but it didn't make it to the next step of that process, which would have been the testing. And that was just a really great firsthand experience for me as a customer, that this is the real deal, that they are committed to quality, they're committed to purity. The next step of seed to seal is distill. So this is where they take the plant material, they put it into stainless steel vats. They don't use any other metal that could have any harm, right? This is pure stainless steel. Use nothing but water. There's no synthetics, there's no fillers. They're not re-distilling each batch, they're doing it one time. So the first distillation gives us the purest oil. Nothing is diluted. There's a whole science in distillation to the temperature and timing as well. You can burn oils. You can make it to where it just smells like the plant, but that there's nothing there for us. No qualities that are actually going to benefit your health. Now, testing, this is super, super important. Not every company tests every single batch. And Young Living makes sure to do over 20 tests done, both triplicate, both in-house and third party. This is important too, because as I mentioned, we have partner farms that are seed to seal certified. So they have to go through this exact testing process as our farms go through. So by the time it's reached to your doorstep, and that's the last step is seal, they seal the bottles in-house. You know that it's gone through a very stringent process of quality control. And I find that this is so important for a couple of reasons. First of all, the FDA does not regulate the supplement or essential oil industry, just meaning that labels are very loose. So it's important that you do know your source and you do your research when it comes to supplements and essential oils. 90% of oils on the market right now are what we call perfume grade. And so that's just where it smells like good, but it's not really doing anything for your health. It's most likely made in a lab, most likely synthetic. The next part of oils, there's 5% of the oils on the market are food grade. This is where they taste like the plant, but they don't have those health benefits necessarily. And chances are you probably have consumed these, whether it's in your toothpaste or anything that says natural flavoring, crackers. A lot of our foods that we buy have natural flavoring. And then finally, the last 5% is the quality called that benefit your health. And that's that premium essential oil. And that's what Young Living falls into. I absolutely love this company. As I mentioned, it's completely changed my health. It's impacted my birthwork practice tremendously. And it has become the best business that I didn't ask for. And I'd love to pass the baton to my friend Ashley, who's going to tell you another part of this company that makes it really special.
Yes, so happy to be here. And speaking of Haley's birth business, that was kind of what sold me on the products and the quality as well. I found myself introduced to Young Living when I was freshly out of college and newly pregnant with twins, and happened to hire Haley as my doula, which is kind of like a birth coach, a birth advocate. She was someone I really trusted. And so around 36 weeks, when I found myself with this big old belly, super itchy skin, I texted her and said, hey, do you have something natural that would soothe my skin? And she suggested frankincense. And let me tell you guys, I was super skeptical, but as soon as I put it on my skin, it was the only thing that I could find that would soothe my skin immediately. And so as my pregnancy progressed, it was kind of the same story over and over. I just kept using different things and was shocked every time it worked. And then I was watching her go from being this doula who kind of, like maybe struggled a little bit financially, to earning this paycheck, doing exactly what she did with me, with all these other moms, thinking, wow, I can do this. This sounds really fun to me. And so I did. Right after my twins were born, I started this business with 6-week-old twins. And so I love this business. And part of what I found during that season of life was the beautiful aspect of community. Being home with 3 kids under the age of 2, I couldn't go a lot of places and do a lot of things, but I found myself just naturally teaching other moms about these products, and old relationships being reunited, new relationships, finding new relationships, and building a business doing so, embracing this aspect of community. And so it took this girl who was afraid to call Pizza Hut to order a pizza before, and expanded my view and my comfort zone of community. And from then, Young Living, the beautiful thing is as you advance in this company, as you grow a business, you're almost rewarded with even more and more community in the form of retreats. They send you on these trips where you not only get free products and you feel super spoiled, but you meet new people that have gone to the lengths that you have, but are also further to where you can learn from them and grow new friendships. Something that I've really loved too is they occasionally do incentives where you can win trips. And I was honored to win a trip to Hawaii a few years ago. And it was really a game changer for me and my business and the aspect of growing my perspective of what was possible, because I all of a sudden found myself on this trip with these people who I really admired and was able to actually commune with them, talk with them, chat with them, and grow new friendships. And I've grown so much from that aspect. So if you're looking for fun, if you're looking for community, if you're looking to grow outside of your comfort zone in that aspect too, Young Living is definitely a beautiful place for that. So I'm gonna hand it over to Miss Carla, who is gonna talk about another aspect of the community, specifically the Young Living Foundation.
Thank you so much, Ashley. I'm so honored to be here, everyone. I'm Carla Green. I'm from a little tiny town of 6,000 people in Alberta, Canada. I am a passionate healthcare practitioner, and that took me to a lot of health conferences. And 22 years ago, I met my mentor, Dr. Carolyn DeMarco, at a conference, and I was sharing how passionate I was about helping my patients find natural solutions. And she recommended that I add essential oils into my practice. Well, originally that left me speechless. And if you know me, I'm not speechless very often. But since I trusted her, I took these products home, used them on my 4 kids and husband, and had really stunning results. That gave me the confidence to take it into my clinic, physiotherapy, acupuncture clinic. I picked my 10 most long-term chronic clients, and I just simply added one oil from the starter kit to the sole of their feet, the one oil that matched their problems most closely. And when they came back, I was totally amazed that 10 out of 10 literally said that Carla was the best treatment ever. So despite that success, I had no interest in the income option. I didn't want to know about it. I had negative mindset regarding the network marketing business. But through just organically sharing, I got a call saying that we had earned a 7-day all expenses paid cruise. We were nervous about going because we thought we'd be on a ship with a lot of overbearing people, but we sucked it up and we went. And we discovered this amazing community of beautiful, big-hearted people. And we were educated as to the beautiful benefits of the network marketing profession. So through the magic of the network marketing model from a little tiny town in Alberta and a small team, our team has grown over the 15 years we've actively built to over 40,000 members and 36 different communities. And we've been able to travel the world and fulfill our dreams of travel. But one of the things that really makes my heart sing about Young Living is the Young Living Foundation. This is their community of giving back. And the thing that is so unique about them is 100% of your donation goes to the actual people that need it. Young Living Corporate funds the administration of this foundation. So Young Living Foundation has 3 pillars. They help promote education in many different countries around the world, Uganda and Ecuador and Nepal. They help develop enterprise for women so they can serve their families and be able to give them a better life. And one that's near to my heart is ending exploitation with the children that are being exploited, and they're having programs to pull them out of that. So the great thing about the foundation is they impact so many lives. $7 million, people, in charitable donations. Listen to that. Every penny goes to those children and those people that need it. So this is something that we can be very, very proud of, and Young Living is really, really changing lives. I'm going to pass the baton now to my son. One of the great things about the network marketing business is it can go on for generations. So here you go, Adam, take it away.
Thanks, Mom. Welcome, everyone. I'm your final speaker here for this evening. My name is Adam Green. I'm from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. And I went straight out of high school into post-secondary, became a personal trainer. And I love helping people with their health and wellness. I was obviously raised in a health and wellness oriented household. But I didn't love so many things about personal training. I didn't like the hours. I didn't like getting up early, staying late, working split shifts. I would take naps in the trunk of my Honda Civic. I called it a trunk bunk. And so I didn't like the hours. I didn't like the pay. I was making $18 an hour Canadian. And the lifestyle of it was really just, I only ever got paid when I showed up at work and saw a client, which is, how most things trading time for dollar work. And I just began looking for a way in my early 20s that I could earn an income outside of personal training. And so that's what introduced me to the wealth building model of network marketing. It's what introduced me to Young Living. And it's been just an incredible journey that's taken me all over the globe and really given my family a level of freedom that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So I'm a big fan of network marketing, and I'm especially a big fan of Young Living. And on screen here, you'll see some of the reasons why Young Living stands out of the crowd of many network marketing companies in the world. We've been around for 28 years. That's a long time in business. We got decades of global growth. We service over 7 million customers around the world in over 200 different countries, actually. We're a family-owned company by Mary Young. And in 2021, we did $2 billion in global revenue. And of that revenue, 40% of our revenue comes from monthly repeat customers. And that's like a very, very strong number of people. You think about how many products you buy once and then never touch again. We have such a loyal customer base that loves the products that Anna talked about, that almost half of our members are purchasing them every single month because they love the benefits of them so much. And I mentioned there's decades of global growth. You can see our sales chart since the beginning of Young Living's founding to where we are today. And this is such a powerful visual of the longevity of this company can provide, the growth it can provide, and where we're going here in the future. When you look at this chart, you see we've been through multiple different economic booms and bust, stock market, thrilling rides up and big crashes down, housing market collapses. There's so much change that happens in the world, but through that, Young Living has consistently been there. It's going to be there for the future. And you can see that we're on a trajectory to not just reach 2 billion people, but billions and billions of more people in the world with our products and with our vision of reaching every single home with essential oils in the world. Why you might want to consider this? Well, I feel like I laid that out there pretty good for you. It's a pretty exciting time to be part of Young Living. For me, I was looking for freedom. I was looking for flexibility. I was looking for something I could control on my own terms. You will be different. You might, maybe you love exactly what you do, but the pay isn't exactly what you want to be, and you want some more flexibility in life. Whatever it is, your personal reason, there's a lot of reasons for you to take a look at this right now. Network marketing is a great model. It allows you to work from home. You don't require inventory. Young Living does all the shipping and all the fulfillments. That's like a very, very large chunk of stuff that you don't have to take care of. You can choose your own hours. There's immediate income up front through different fast start bonuses and such. And then there's a legacy income of the long-term residual income that customer base you will build can provide for you. And then the primary model in which we're sharing these days is through online and social selling platforms. Lets you build globally, lets you, not have any specific demographic or location that you're tied to. There is no, area you can only do business when. You can do business across the entire globe, really, which is pretty exciting for a very low startup cost. The startup cost of a network marketing business is quite moderate compared to traditional businesses out there. So that's why network marketing might be something you should really take a look at, specifically why Young Living and why you should do that. And then why now? So one thing I learned over my time here in this company is that if you don't change something in your life, chances are your life won't change. If you look at where you were 4 years ago to where you are now, if you've not made some sort of big life change in your career, in your earnings, your finances, then chances are you're probably about in the same spot you were 4 years ago, or maybe even a little worse off when you factor in inflation and the rising cost of living. So one of the best ways you can prepare yourself for the future is to take change today that you can then work towards having a better outcome for tomorrow. So where will you be 4 years from now? You can make that choice here today by, deciding to either partner with us in one of these three options. You could either decide to share your story and get some product for free. That's where most people start, and who doesn't love free product? Secondary, some people like to be a little more intentional, and they're looking to earn an extra $300 to $500 per month, pay some bills, maybe earn some savings towards a vacation, pay for some fuel at the gas tanks, or you can build a sales team and earn more. You'll see here in this next chart, there's quite a variety of different income options available here at Young Living. On the far left, you'll see some different titles. Those are, ranks associated with our compensation plan. And then the middle there, you can see different annual incomes. So you can see like the lowest, the highest, and the average. For me, the big game changer was silver. That's what I left personal training towards hitting. I want to hit silver consistently. My goal is to do it in a 4-year time frame, because in my mindset, I would go back to college for 4 years. So why not do something like this for 4 years? And my goal is to earn $3,000 per month from home on my own terms. I was able to achieve that and more, and I'm very grateful for that. And so it's just been an incredible journey that we're looking to partner here with as many of you as possible. We really leave you with these 3 options as we wrap up tonight's call. One, you can think, you spent time here and learned about what you have, and we appreciate your time, but maybe it's not for you right now. And we honor that answer. We honor if you're, number 1 here on the chart, but you could be number 2. You could be interested in trying our products and seeing how they work for you, and seeing the stories that they develop for you and your family, and seeing the results for you. And that's great. If that's you, you can drop a comment too below. Or you might be a third option and you've loved everything you've heard. You've loved the community, you've loved the products, you love the foundation, the seed to seal, and you love the income option here, and you want more information on both those. That would make you a number 3. Whichever one you kind of land in here, we honor your yes, we honor your no, we honor your maybe. But you ended up here on this call tonight because somebody invited you. You didn't just accidentally end up on this webinar, either live or on the replay. I mean, we know there's hundreds of you on here, so we want to encourage you to connect with whoever invited you here to this call or this replay, and just let them know that you took the time to take a look at this opportunity, and let them know where you land, wherever you land in the spectrum that we just talked about. They'll honor that, they'll respect that. And so I thank you for your time and your attention, and I'm going to pass it back to Richard.
Thank you, Adam. Thank all of you for sharing your stories, and all of you that showed up to participate. We are here every Thursday evening at the same time, 5:30 Pacific time. If you want to know more about what we're doing, you can sign up to get notifications about these presentations at wildpresentation.com. We'll see you next week, next Thursday night at 5:30. Thanks for joining us.
Okay. So I would love to hear thoughts, questions, where you guys are on the 1, 2, or 3 scale. What do you have to say, or what are your comments about this video?
Well, I liked, I did listen to one of these a couple months when it first started, like the very first one I think I listened to. And it's always interesting because there's, of course, different people you resonate with more than others. And so I think that time there were some that I didn't really so much. And so it was kind of like, okay, well, I could not be like that. That's not me, or whatever, But I have to say, boy, I really liked Anna when she shared. I liked the idea that she just talked about what she uses and why she uses it and how it's benefited her, because it's like, I feel like that's what I'd have to go back to thinking more about, which just totally makes sense. Because if I want to be authentic, then it has to do with what do I use and why for the last 5 years, 6 years. I mean, it's like, so that was good. I mean, still, it makes me really nervous about thinking about ever doing a class. That's for sure. I've never done that yet. I taught 3rd graders. I never did adult classes. So anyway, but that was great. And anytime Haley talks, I love it. I mean, I just love anything. She's just so authentic. So I love when she shares. So anyway.
So Julia, could you see yourself talking to a friend though about some of this stuff?
Yeah, this is okay. Well, this is the other thing is like I retired from teaching last June after 20 years, and I was always walking around with oils in pockets and putting them on people and sharing. And so now it's just so different now that I'm home. It's like, okay, how do I find the ways to still do the same thing? And I was writing down all those ideas that Danielle had last week about little things she carries around her purse and all that. I thought that was awesome. And but also I leave the house less often than I used to. So it's just a whole interesting transition, but I would love, as I see, I know that when I made the decision to retire, that, I mean, my income was going to become 60% of what it had been, but it's been fine so far. But definitely, I think, yeah, I spend way more than $100 every month on Young Living. So I need to it would be awesome if just right there, I could get all that paid for. That would be great. So if nothing else,
Awesome.
So
I appreciate that. And I appreciate your words, because that's really what I think you're probably not the only one on this call that's in that exact same situation where you're thinking that. And I
Yeah.
know for me, you know, being home, I have to be really purposeful that, okay, at least on this day and this day, I'm going out and I'm going to be around people. Even if I don't share Young Living, I have
Yeah.
to make leave my house because I'm really comfortable in my house. But being comfortable in my house is not going to save it. You know, if we go back to what we talked about at the beginning of the call, I have to share in order to keep my house, right? And so
Yeah.
maybe that's something you can look at, is what purposeful thing or activity can you do that you're out and around people? And just for our own mental health, we need to do that, I think, you know, because we just need that other interaction. And Facebook and Instagram is not healthy for a lot of us because we spend all of our time comparing instead of
Right.
going,
Yeah.
oh, they have their crap too, right?
Yeah.
And
So-
Julia, another great thing, because of the season that you are in, because it is new, maybe this is an opportunity for you to reach out to old friends that maybe you didn't have time for in your teaching career, and start writing some notes and sending some little care packages. Make some of those little nasal inhalers and say, I was thinking of you today and I'm using this and it's been so helpful to me. And I just wanted to share with you what I'm doing in my retirement, and start sending some, you know, handwritten notes to friends, or popping in with your other school teachers and saying, I was thinking of you all, and I know it's allergy season, or I know we're back to school in a different way and it's all a different season. Here's some stress away rollers, or here's, you know, and get creative with how you're doing it, because I believe that even if you knew it wasn't going to result in a sale, you are that person that genuinely cares about the people in your life. So even if it comes up void at the moment, you're still planting that seed and you're sharing with people what you're doing in this new season of your life, that you're looking to help others and create community and find solutions to problems that people might be having. And so maybe be thinking about some ways that you could do that, reaching out to old friends, sharing with new friends, really for the circle of people that you are in fellowship with in church that know that you have been using oils. Maybe ask them for prayer as you embark on sharing the business side of things more intentionally, to give you a supplement in your income and give you a different vision and purpose for your day-to-day life. So all of those might be some resources for you to consider as, how do I navigate this new season and what do I do? How do I share?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you so much. That's great. It's so funny too, because, you know, like 5 or 6 years ago, all these people signed up with Eden, but I think a lot of them, I don't know how many of them really ever stayed, but then she's also done her other business, her Glow. But it's just interesting that, I mean, our church was like saturated with her signing people up, you know, years ago.
And if those people are inactive and they're not, and she's not pursuing that any longer, it's okay to build relationships with those people that you know love the products, and to re-enroll them, reactivate them, and to say, I know that you don't have a local, you know, support thing. I think especially in Sonoma County where you are, there's a lot of people that might be looking for some new mentorship that have gone inactive. So don't let that hinder you from, not to go obviously and steal all the people that are under other people. But if there are people that you're in community with that do not have a role in a mentor and aren't active any longer, it's a great opportunity to reignite that. And it's completely okay for you to step into a role like that and share.
Okay. All right.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm stepping out on a limb for myself, but I'm gonna do this. I got 3 this month for enrollment. The one I worked with about her hair and everything. She was losing hair and we were working with it, and she kept telling me that, oh, I can't afford it. What can I do with this? It just went on. And well, let me think about it. I mean, she just kind of dropped me. Well, I let it go for about 2 or 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I think it was. And I decided, no, I'm going to drop something else now to her. And we work through WhatsApp and Telegram. And so I dropped something with her, and then she got interested, and I got her signed up. It took a little while, but I just kind of dropped it again. And I mean, when she told me to let it go a little bit, that's when I went ahead and dropped another one. And she signed up. And my brother been very against me, very, about it all. And my dad, he's 88 years old, and he knows this stuff works, because we would put it on Mom. She had a stroke and couldn't talk. So when she got frustrated or whatever, we would put the peace and calming and the lavender on her, and she would just calm down. Well, Dad would do that at the nursing home, and she would just calm down. He said it didn't take long at all. And Dad was a big believer of it. So, okay, Kyle has a cold, and he was having troubles. And he said, every time I come home, it's worse than when I'm out and away. I said, you know what you have in the house? Probably mold. And I said, you need to get rid of it with a diffuser and thieves. Nah, he kept going, Well, Dad said, I will buy it. I will buy it then. And now he's still wanting to make fun of me, but I told him to take the peppermint. I put the peppermint on there on the order because he was going to leave on a trip. And I said, you take that along because that will keep you awake. You really, he just kept on, but he did take it along. And I think he did use it, but he's just getting home tomorrow. So I'll talk to him more. But if I can, I did put the Super B on his order, not telling him. And he got it. And he tells my dad, he says, what'd she do that for? He said, I get my own vitamins. I said, Dad, I went like this. He needs to find out how this will really help him. So we're going to see what happens with that situation. And the other one, the company put it underneath me. So I have last month, I had 1 or 2 put underneath me. And I actually have one real close here to me. And I want to meet with her yet. But I sent her a little gift package with 2 Ningxia Reds in there and some Mighty Pro. And I wrote a letter. And I also had one close to me at Birmingham, Alabama. And I did the same thing. I have got no response, but at least I did my part.
Yeah. Well, that is awesome. And Rhonda, I first of all, I want to say thank you for sharing, because I know that this is out of your comfort zone to have video on and share. So yay for that. And I want to just say too, that what you did is you were bold and you knew the needs. So because and part of their family, or you're working with them, and you listened, and then you met the needs. And that's why people are signing up, because even if they're like, oh, I really don't want to, they know your heart and they know you're out for their good. Right. And, I don't know if that helps Juliet too, with kind of what you're going through is, if they know who you are and they know that you want to bless people and you want good for them, then usually people are more open to us, right? Because they want to support their friends. And so I just really want to encourage you. And I want to just share a quick story. I was talking to a friend of mine she's been a member for several years now. And we were talking about things because she's changed her life, and like her attitude overall has changed, and she's a different person today than she was when I met her probably 7 or 8 years ago. And she was talking to a friend, doing some life coaching with a friend, and the friend said, well, what changed for you? And she said, my life changed when I met Britta and I found Young Living. And I said, well, okay, but your life really changed with Young Living, right? Because that's what's changed her life. And physically, yes. But she looked at me and she said, no, Britta, it changed when I met you, because I I don't, you guys, I don't even know what it is. And I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, but she said, there was something about me. She wanted to be my friend, right? I was in a situation, or I presented myself in a certain way that she respected upon first meeting. And she said, I want to be with her. I want to hang out with her. I want to get to know her. I want to be like her. People say that about each of you. And I just want you to sit with that for a second. If you knew that someone that maybe you don't even know is struggling with issues, maybe it's physical, maybe it's emotional, maybe it's financial, maybe it's relational, who knows? But if you knew that you may meet them tomorrow and you don't know what their stuff is, but you're meeting them tomorrow or next week, whenever, will change the course of their life, would you show up? Would you maybe show up with an oil in hand just because you got to carry it around and maybe you need it to smell for yourself so you can be brave, right? If you knew that, I don't remember who it was that was talking about community, but if you knew that you could invite them into your community and it could save their life in whatever way, would you do that? Would you show up? And so that was super convicting for me, because I'm like, okay, I am not showing up every day. I'm not doing my best. I'm not giving people my best. I'm not giving myself my best right now. So what can I do today? What oil do I need to sniff or huff or whatever, or anoint myself with, that can make me show up in a different way? Who do I need to send this video to? Who do I need to just, send a sample to, or just share a smile with? Right? I'm going to Costco tomorrow, and my whole goal will be to smile at every single person I meet, instead of being on my phone, crossing off my list or answering a text, or, but I'm going to be purposeful tomorrow. And I'm going to commit to you guys that I'm going to show up and be present and make a difference and be friendly, right? Because there's a lot of crappy people out there. I don't know. All right, I'm off my soapbox, but Rhonda, thank you so much for sharing that and sharing, we can make it hard, or we can make it easy. And I choose easy, and I choose fun. And like Sheila said, if you find your joy, you guys, and just go out and teach, try something new. You might find that you really like it. I have found about doing all these Zoom calls versus doing a class, man, my bucket is so filled at a class. And you know why? Because I get a look in your eyes. I get to meet you where you are. I get to talk to you about your specific needs. I get to hand you an oil and say, just put a drop in your hands, rub them together and smell it. And I get to see how that changes your face and your body posture and your aura, right? Like people go from here to like, oh, wow. And sometimes they start sitting up and they take notice. And so, find whatever works for you. Some people might be like, this is my niche. I love this. And that's awesome, because we need people doing it online too. But don't put yourself in a box or get out of your head. Let me just say that, because somebody needs you tomorrow and the next day. So, all right, I just posted, because we're going a little bit long. Sorry about that. I just posted in the chat. Hopefully you can scroll up a little bit and see the product and income options. And these are texts that you can send out, or emails, or you can read it on a script and just call somebody. And these are different things that actually Richard's team sends out to you in an email. And you can go to ylpresentation.com. Thank you, Skylar, for posting that. To see this video, but I think there's, maybe you can't. We will share the link on how to sign up for these kind of presentations as well. And then I actually get a weekly email saying, hey, we have a presentation on Thursday night. Who are you going to invite? And here's all the ways that you can invite them. And it's so easy. They've taken all the work out of it for us. All we have to do is copy and paste, right? And if somebody can't make it on Thursday night, then I would really encourage you to use Eric Worre's script and say, well, if I sent you a video, would you watch it? Would you, right? So if I send you a video, it's just 30 minutes, would you watch it? And once they say yes, then you send them the video. And if I call you tomorrow night, will you have time to watch it? Yes. Okay, I'm going to call you tomorrow night then. because that's how we change lives. Okay. And again, make it fun, make it relatable to them. And I think you can make a huge difference. Skyla, what do you got? What do you want to say to this fabulous group of women?
I am just taking it all in, you guys. There's been so much goodness shared. I don't know that I need to add a darn thing, but thank you to those of you that are stepping out and being vulnerable and brave, and I commend you for that.
Awesome. And Danielle, anything you want to add?
I was just thinking when Rhonda was sharing, I can totally relate to your family being your biggest critic because I think we all have stories like that. My mom was so very resistant, but she could not deny that my dad was he died of ALS a couple years ago, but he battled for nearly 10 years. And so as I started using oils and bringing things into the home, she was just overwhelmed. It was just a place of overwhelm and fear, but she just couldn't embrace it. And now yesterday she came to the house. Do you have a bottle of Copaiba that I can have and I'll replace it when my order comes in? Because I ran out, and I'm like, of all the oils that she's using now, I mean, the things that most people won't ever have on their shelf, So all that to say is I think that our worst critics end up needing it the most. And one day, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but even if it's a few years down the road, it's been 5 years and my mom now has finally got it dialed in, ordering all the time, doing all the things. And so it's baby steps. All of this is baby steps. And look at the three of us. We have been doing this for the longest in the room, and we're still learning and still figuring this thing out. We never get it 100% right, but we show up and we're willing to share because we know the power of the product that we're sharing. And until that power goes away, we're not going to stop doing that. So slow and steady, faithful sharing, even if it's just one person that you reach out to in the next week, completely unrelated to Young Living, just being a friend. You never know where that's going to lead you. So be thoughtful, be mindful. If someone comes to your mind this week, don't think that that's coincidental. Send them a message, even if it's just a genuine, I'm just checking up on you, without business on your mind, but just, you never know what they need and how you can be a blessing to them. People do. I love what Britta says. People need us. They really do. So go out and be those people to people in your lives this week.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Good word.
Can I?
Oh, go ahead, Juliet.
One thing I wanted to say was when Rhonda was sharing about Super Bee and her brother saying, oh, it's, I get my own stuff, totally made me think of what Danielle said last Thursday about our products being physician grade, right, Danielle? Isn't that what you said?
Like nutritional, on the nutritional pharmaceutical grade. If we were going to,
right,
like we have, prescription, almost like a prescription grade supplement that we have.
Yeah. Okay, and then this is just, I'm just airing a frustration. So the CBD chill and pep bundles, you guys, I got the chill like way back in December or November or something. January, it went out of stock. I emailed product support. They say, we have no date. That was January. I emailed a couple days ago. They still say, we have no date. I'm like, come on, how can you tell me nothing? What is it? The bottles? Is it the whatever? Don't they use the same bottles they use for the ones that they add oils to,
I think they're a little
well, there's the supply issues right now, they're so vast that I don't think we know specifically for each one. The reality is that there are containers upon containers upon containers in every port still, with a lot of our products. And so I think, between the amount of testing that it has to go to be put in a new package and things to make sure that it holds up, it also could just be, supply and demand, that something that's in that product might be needed for a more popular product. And so they're shifting inventory based on what numbers look like.
Right.
So yeah, I've kind of given up guessing to the issues and just really been trying to be thankful for what we do have and that we've been able to find workarounds of our core products. On that note, I think, did we talk about this a couple weeks ago, that there are only 17 products that make up
That's not true. And I don't think we're supposed to release that yet. So I'm gonna stop
Okay.
you.
Okay.
But I would,
Um,
I would also say, Juliet, that if you've paid for that and they haven't sent it, you can request
no.
a.
Oh,
for
no,
it.
no.
Okay. Waiting
It
for to
just,
come
in my logic, I don't understand how they can make the CBD citrus and not make the CBD plain, right? You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why can't they make the plain one right now?
Yeah, well, and there may be some other laws that we don't know about as well, because we used to have a pet one that was plain and then they took it away because the government stepped in and said something
Right.
changed. So we don't know all the
Yeah.
workings. I'm so thankful I don't have to know all the workings.
Yes,
behind
agreed.
There's a whole lot of stuff
Yeah.
that I think if we knew, our minds would just be like, oh my gosh. So we get to just go out and share the stuff that we know and
Yeah.
love and
Yeah.
let them figure it all out and worry about sourcing and all that.
Yeah.
So thank you though for asking the question. We appreciate that.
Sure.
Kayla.
Exactly. So in the spirit of more product education, if you guys haven't seen the post or haven't heard, tomorrow night's table talk topic is all about Mighty Pro and Life 9. So two of our favorite supporting supplements, that Life 9 is an absolute must every night before bed. I have learned new things about Life 9 in the past year that I did not know the previous 14 years, which is evidence that we still need to engage in learning. So I can guarantee you tomorrow night, those are the table talk calls are on the phone only, no video, so you don't have to wear pants. And they only last 30 minutes. Okay. So they're quick, get on, get the info, get off, and it's fun. So, okay. To wrap up tonight, one of our favorite things to do is to kind of surprise and delight those of you that have been sharing and welcoming new customers and brand partners. And so we do a drawing for $10 of product credit every week to someone who has enrolled. And tonight's winner is Sheila Connor. Woo woo!
Oh,
So Sheila, congratulations to you and keep up the amazing enthusiasm and sharing and keep us in the loop, please.
thank you. I will. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks everybody for joining us. We will sign off for tonight, but we look forward to seeing you again next week.